Hi everyone, welcome back to Sharon Cullen Art. Today is Inktober Day 9 and the prompt is precious. And I thought about doing another animal and I thought, you know what, I really don't feel like it. Got a migraine today. I just want to get through this. So I'm going to do an ink landscape. This one will be totally different. The prompt for today is precious. And I thought about how precious life is. And my favorite season is fall. And it's amazing how beautiful fall can be, especially, well, if you're in an area where you get the fall colors and everything. For me here in Michigan, it gets very beautiful and the colors are amazing. It's the dormancy of the season. So it just made me think about how precious life is, and as beautiful as fall is, it leads to bare trees, and then we have to wait for summer again or spring again. So I'm going to go ahead and do this landscape and see how it turns out. I'm using my P.H. Martin India ink again today. It is a little bit of a challenge painting with India ink, but it's fun. So I just go ahead. People say, how do you do it? And I just mix my colors as I would doing my watercolors. Yeah, I just mix them. If I paint with watercolor, if I'm painting with this, it's still the same concept. I just put a few drops out of my color. I'm going to hold off on those other colors, but I do want this blue to come out too. I'm going to put that over here to mix my sky. So I've got my white and my blues, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix my sky color up and get started. So I'm going to speed this along. Now going in here, I just used some blue and teal and mixed it in with white to do the sky, and then for the tree trunks I used the brown, the black, and the white in various values. And then with the rocks, it was pretty much the same thing, the brown, the black, the white, to finish up all of those rocks. And I tried to shade them a little bit differently. Now going in here, I was using yellow and white, and here I mixed some greens, but they end up being a little too bright. So later I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of red into my green in order to tone that down. And then I'll use blue and black for the under branches. And in these other areas, the red that I'm using is bright red for the most part, and then I'm using the regular red and mixing some yellow in with it here and there. And with the yellows, I'm using a little bit of the bright red in with the yellow, and then later a little bit of brown in with the yellow in order to change the value and try to get the leaves to pop a little bit. It's a little more difficult with this India ink because it is so transparent. You can't even change the level of transparency. So as you can see with the blue poking through there, I made a mistake on that, but it's still fun. It's really kind of cool challenging myself to do these. And then afterwards, the gloss, the sheen on the paper is really pretty when I'm looking through the book. I really like the sheen on the India ink. Now when I go in to do the water, I'm going to be using the teal and the green. They call it green, which would be kind of like a phthalo green. For the grass, I use grass green and the bushes, and then I mix the red and stuff into that to get different colors. And then putting in the branches, I'm just using a number 3 Simply Simmons rigger brush, and for the rest of it I used a size 10 round, which was a synthetic as well. I use synthetic brushes, some of my older brushes for this. I don't use my good watercolor brushes because I don't want any of that shellac to stay in the fibers, especially on my real hair, squirrel, and sable brushes. So I just use synthetics for this. And that's pretty much how I do it. now to finish up the water, I'm adding a little more darker color. I think I used the teal on the right hand side along with some of the red, just kind of dry brushed underneath that, to give a shadow on the right hand side of the river. And I also added some white here and there just to make some streaky lines, and adding the dark ridge on the edge of the river. I don't like that, so after I'm finished filming, I go back and I fix that by spreading it out a little bit. And as I finish up, please remember to hit that like button above if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, remember to be courageous, sketch with wild abandon, and most of all, be kind to each other. Bye-bye.